Hey everybody, welcome to Church History for Chumps, and on the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me, Taylor, Crip Kringle Treadway, Thomas, Miracle on 420th Street, Duell, and John, what black and mild is this, Simon?
What?
This is a different podcast.
This is, what's Crip Kringle? Like the gang?
Yeah.
He's so entertained with himself, Tommy.
Yeah.
We want to welcome back to the show, Dad.
Yeah, Tommy's back. Tommy's back.
Up,
the
guys?
people can rejoice.
Man,
Sorry, I missed the
John,
last
before
couple.
you're okay, bro.
It's funny how this works. It's like 2 days of like craziness for me turns into 3 weeks of me not being on the podcast.
That's right.
That's
Only two actually, but
It's like, sorry, man, we just blitzed through 6 episodes. Sorry you missed all of them.
We actually recorded the entire Crusades while you were out, bro. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we didn't mention that, but I think it's probably for the best.
darn it.
So, listeners, before we hit record, John was like, I got your nicknames. And he was like, so ready. And I was like, oh, it's going to be some cute Christmas nickname. Nope.
They're fun. They're quirky. They're whimsical.
Whimsical.
Straight out of Compton.
Where the whimsy at?
Where the whimsy at?
Apparently, yeah, in Inglewood.
Oh, man. Do you guys, this might be an obvious question, but is Christmas your guys' top holiday?
Yes, because we get 2 weeks off of work.
Oh, gosh, dang it, bro. I think I get a single day off. I don't even get Christmas Eve off.
People die every day, John.
I know. I'm on the front lines. Honestly, if someone died on Christmas, I'd probably still go into work.
We're doing
Did you care?
We're doing a 7:30 service for Christmas Eve. You should come to that. And then I
AM?
usually try to No, PM. I usually go somewhere for a midnight service on Christmas if you're trying to slide.
I do like midnight services. I do.
Yep.
But they're usually
I like 6 p.m. over at 7, and you're sitting at Applebee's by 7:15.
Applebee's.
Yeah.
Is that your Christmas Eve tradition?
No. Last year we went to Outback, though, and my mother-in-law was like, we are not doing that again.
The holy bread and wine.
The holy onion blossom.
Onion.
Yeah, it's the bloomin' onion and a large Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that's right. Amen. I love that you said AM when he said 7:30. You were like, yeah, you're one step away from Catholic. You're ready for 7:30 mass.
Well, usually the midnight services are mass too. Catholics
right.
just know how to celebrate, I guess.
You can do I wonder if there's any midnight Anglican or Episcopal. St. Philip's has a really, really nice Christmas Eve service that I've watched online before. Really beautiful
nice.
music.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, our church didn't even start doing a Christmas Eve service until last year.
Oh, that's
last year,
interesting.
it is. I'm like, is this the only Southern Baptist church in existence?
Were they against it, or they just didn't really do it?
No, the honest truth is that they didn't do it because our church is very busy all year. There's always something. And so like they didn't do Christmas Eve so that people could spend their time with their families.
Mm-hmm.
That was the reasoning.
You guys do that on Sundays every once in a while too.
I know.
Have you
right?
seen that trend, man? That's crazy.
Closing
like
or the work days. No offense if your church does this, but it's pretty wild to me to cancel the Lord's Day to go like do a service project.
Yeah, that's weird. That's the definition of putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Tommy, because I feel like we never talk about Episcopal people. There's probably a couple reasons for that, but I had a family that I worked with in my job last week, hospice chaplain, for those of you guys who forgot. The patient was Lutheran, and she'd kind of been in and out of church for most of her life. She's very old. She's pretty advanced in dementia. And her daughter was very involved at an Episcopal church here in town. And she was like, can you please try to help my mom like convince her to take the Eucharist because I really want that for her. Like she was just very, very like emphatic about it. And then when she eventually agreed to it, I was like, yeah, I can bring it. I mean, it's not really traditional, but I mean, I'm happy to do it. And I still think it's legit. And she's like, you're not going to bring grape juice, are you? And I said, don't you worry. I got the good. But I just thought,
like, mead.
I just brought scotch.
Hennessy.
Hennessy? Oh my god.
It was just a very endearing conversation. So
That's
I was
cool.
like, all right, you guys.
And she took it?
No, well, she died too fast.
Oh,
I wasn't going to get to
my
that.
gosh. What a horrible twist.
Dude, here's the thing.
I should have known better than to ask. That's my bad.
On my Substack, I have all these like thoughtful reflections on like the morbidity of death and like hoping to find the hope that transcends us into everlasting life. Really, I just want to laugh because there's so many stories where it's like, oh, what happened when you saw that? Oh, I actually never saw them again. They just died the next day. Or
you gotta laugh through the pain.
Gotta laugh. Yeah, laugh so you don't cry, bro. That's how it works.
Your Hennessy and Nabisco Saltines communion.
Oh, gosh. Oh man. All right.
Yes.
Well,
Sean, shout out your Substack. What is it for the listeners that want to?
Big dogs go to heaven, bro. Big dogs.
What's your Tommy? Shout out your Substack.
Pastor's P.O. Box.
Tommy wrote a lovely. We talked about it last episode on
did you really?
Theotokos. Yeah. We did not talk about how much hate you got for it.
Yeah, that was a dumpster fire.
Oh my gosh.
I really tried to kind of bring things down with mine. Just kind of like, appease both sides, but not compromise too. Yeah.
You know what? We still have banter time. I'm going to read what you wrote. Straight up, I'm going to read what you wrote.
The whole blog or just the excerpt? Or what John wrote?
I don't care what you said. I'm going to read what... I don't care about your theological contribution. I'm going to read what John signed. Dude, this sucker's got 56 comments, and half of them are good. All right, listeners, this is like a new copy pasta. Yeah, so John comes in and says, I have a few thoughts on this. In my experience, and I say this anecdotally, of course, there's really only one way to dialogue about the multitude of opinions in this topic. But all things considered, when you look at things from both sides of the spectrum, there's really more than meets the eye. And don't get me wrong, when you weigh out all the options, stop making me laugh. When you weigh out all the options,
listening to his own comments.
He is. I found that just because you can doesn't mean it's what will bring about something or some meaningful. Well, I don't know about meaningful, but sometimes it's just a matter of considering one thing at a time via the society that we're living in, because you know what they say, a rising tide can lift a boat, but a man with no fish cannot fish at all. And that's what it all boils down to at the end of the day. But that's just my opinion.
You know what? I meant every word.
Adam Duell, get this man a Substack and a podcast immediately.
Done and done.
That was good. It sounded like you're sitting in HR, just listening to somebody just drone.
Oh, just corporate slop. That's all that was.
Yeah, you're the king of the corporate slop.
Oh man, there's worse things to be king of. So
the via V is what gets me.
That's my favorite. I'm literally writing it. I'm like, how could I throw in some unnecessary Latin in here? I was like,
yeah, I got it. Gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, dear listeners, today it's our Christmas episode.
Yay.
Where Tommy and John and I take turns singing Christmas carols for the next 50 minutes for you guys.
Oh, holy night.
You picked the slowest one. All right, I got one last little random thing, and then we'll start. The Bare Naked Ladies, which is not a very sanctifying name
of a band,
of a band. has a Christmas album that has no right to be as good as it is.
I'm not even surprised.
They have a combo song of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. It's a mashup with Sarah McLachlan or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And the second song is We Three Kings of Orient Are.
Okay.
And it's amazing.
Are they like falling out, or is it like a meme album?
I don't think it's a meme album.
Oh, dude, I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Dude, those guys can harmonize. We don't talk about harmonies enough, but they can harmonize like nobody's business.
How much do you think is enough to talk about harmonies? Like what would have merited you not saying that?
There's just look. Okay. You're a little harmonies antagonist. Like, we don't harmonize enough. I don't feel like there's enough harmonizing in like pop music. Like the Beach Boys did it. And that was 50 years ago. I'm just saying, some of my favorite music has harmonies in it.
I thought you meant like we don't talk. Like Church History for Chumps doesn't talk enough about harmonies.
Not us, dork. Like we as a culture. I'm speaking prophetically, okay?
Like the collective,
but you're not
the collective.
You're not ready for this conversation, Taylor. You're not ready for this. You're not ready to talk about harmonies. Why don't you keep talking about your little whatever you do, your little boy band.
My worship team.
Yeah, you know exactly what I mean.
Right.
Your little synth players and guy playing the electric drum set. Yeah, get off my feed.
We don't have any of the things. We have a robot that plays a pad. That's as advanced as we get. All right. Well, my friends, it is time. I'm curious for the cold open. I just want to ask, what's your guys' favorite Christmas tradition? Oh, Andy's gone.
Oh no.
Dad left to get milk. Oh, I hope he comes back. I'm sure he will. John, did you and Annie? John just bought a new house, so I'm really curious. Did you guys put a Christmas tree up?
We did. Yeah. It's great.
Oh, good job. You know what? I think that deserves applause because putting up Christmas tree and decorations is work. Mm-hmm. And like when you just have moved into a new house, man.
I didn't do a bit of it. My wife did all of it.
Oh.
Yeah, she did every ounce of work. I didn't do any. I didn't do a thing.
You see the Christmas tree behind me, right?
Oh, that's real.
Okay. You thought this was like a filter?
I did for a little bit. I was
like the filter really with the crooked sound bar. Well, where's that one on Riverside?
I think we need to hop off so that Thomas can get back on.
All right, pause.
All right.
Unpause. Dad's back, everybody.
I'm back.
Say something, Tommy. So John got a Christmas tree up, which is fantastic for a brand new house. So round of applause, sir.
Yo.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That's so cozy.
What's your guys' favorite traditions?
I grew up doing, and we've kind of carried this on with our kids, but we read like an Advent story that's kind of like serialized through the whole Advent. There's a series, probably a lot of our listeners have actually read these. It's like Jotham's Journey, Tabitha's Travels. They have titles like that, and it's about like children who are in Israel around the time of Jesus's birth. And we'd sit around and like we'd get like eggnog like most nights, and we'd sing some Christmas carols and sing those songs and then read those books, and we've kept that up.
I love it.
Dude, I love eggnog. I feel bad that after everything you just said, I'm like, man, I love eggnog.
I know. Well, I'm like wondering, is there like Aaron's arson? Bob's burglary.
Bob's burglary. Naomi's narcissism.
That's right.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Tommy, that's precious.
I love that.
What's your favorite Christmas tradition, John?
Dude, I'll say the ground is quite fertile in my family for planting new traditions because we didn't really do any exciting ones. Like, well, my favorite that my mom was always really, really in on was every year with me and my sister, she would be like, all right, you guys can open one gift on Christmas Eve. And we'd be like, oh, sick, let's go. I'm going to look for the PlayStation game. I'm going to look for whatever. And it was always pajamas. And like she did that. Like the last time she did that was probably a couple years ago. And I'm 33. And she'd be like, John, you forgot to open your special Christmas Eve gift. It's the only one you get to open today. And I'm like, okay, Mom.
Thanks,
but I love
Mom.
it. It's very
What'd you get on? What was on your pajamas at age 31 that you got from grandma or from mom?
Probably like some candy canes, like some gingerbread men.
Buzz Lightyear or nothing? Am I right?
Oh, brother, man.
So she hits up Kohl's.
Yeah, big Kohl's.
Okay.
Yeah, big Kohl's and Marshalls fan.
Yeah. My favorite is actually, it's the same as you, John. We would get back from Christmas Eve service and my mom would be like, go and open a present now. We would have like snacks and open a present. And, but my mom, it was always this weird, like stressful thing because she'd have to make sure it wasn't the pajamas. We would actually get one of the presents, but she would also like want to make sure it wasn't the big gift or like an accessory to the big gift. Cause I think one year, like they got us DS's one year, Nintendo DS's. And I think one year my sister accidentally opened like a carrying case for it or something.
Oh, damn. Surprise, ruined. Awful.
There's something like that. But that's my favorite tradition.
That's cool. Yeah.
Now we got to form new traditions. Like Tommy's got one with his current family.
Yeah.
Yeah, my current family. It'd be really cool to see what traditions I have with my future family too.
I meant your past, like childhood. Shut up. Well, we're not examining your personal family traditions tonight, but we are looking at various Christmas traditions and where they came from.
Are we going to talk about Santa Claus?
We are going to talk about Santa Claus. Yeah, we got a long list. We actually have 8. This is very Baptist of me. I have 8 points and 8 Christmas traditions.
At least
Dude,
they don't
is it
all start
true?
with the same letter.
I hope they do.
It's all alliterated.
Is it true that the first Father Christmas was actually a Muslim man?
I don't know. See, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
making
just
that up. That's completely fake.
I'm gonna go ahead and just give some caveats to this episode. So the answer to almost every one of the things we're going to look at tonight or today, whenever you're listening, tomorrow, for all I know, is we don't actually know is the true answer, but there's some guesses for everything.
I will say one thing we do know is that the original Father Christmas was not, in fact, a Muslim man, because I made that up. But one thing that is true, stockings became popular.
Don't get to stockings.
Well, I was going to say because they used to put rocks in them and it was like a prison fight type thing.
Oh, so you also made this up. Okay.
Yeah, I made that one up too.
Okay. Well, yeah. So a couple, that was the first caveat is yes, there's a lot of speculation here. I think tracking traditions in general is probably pretty hard for historians. Second, yes, it is hard because the peasants don't record why they do things because they can't read or write. So the second thing
not that hard.
Is I'd be very curious of how many of our listeners are like on the full blown on the boat of Christmas is pagan. Because I have found in my research for this episode, there is a large section of the internet that is like super anti-Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all like super rabid atheists and then like covenanters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I will say this, if you want to get into the is Christmas pagan debate, you can watch Wes Huff's video from 3 years ago. And he does an incredible amount of academic work. And you know what, as John pointed out, I got to meet him back at ETS.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like knowing about Wes Huff 3 years ago is like buying Bitcoin in 2015.
True. Yeah. Before the Rogan appearance.
That's
yeah,
right.
That's huge. What surprised you about him?
He's clean, dude.
Like smells nice.
No, like he looks. I mean, maybe, I don't know. He might smell nice. I didn't really sniff him, but
I expect him to be kind of dirty.
So he looks clean.
He's like, Taylor, you wouldn't have gout if you studied the art of the blade.
Yeah. So he looks clean, he presents clean, and like the pastors that he brought with him were easily the coolest dressed people at ETS.
Dang, solid.
I mean, you've got like New Testament scholars like waddling around in like suspenders and like a
waddling around.
Like, I mean, dude, they're all geniuses. They could like smoke me in anything academic. So ETS is not really like peak fashion, but like Wes Huff and his crew walking around, like they just stood out. Yeah. That's why it was easy to be like, "What's up, Wes?" And then, you know, we talked with him for a few minutes. But
that's cool. That's cool.
Did you see Lightheart like you predicted?
I did not see Peter Lightheart. I'm so sorry, Tommy.
Did you see Airman like you were hoping for?
I think Airman would be at SBL after I left. That's when when all the heretics and atheists arrive. Yep.
See Arius?
Yep. Just gonna say yes now.
Don't entertain me.
Anyways, watch Wes Huff's video if you're interested in like an in-depth academic discussion on the paganism part of Christmas and whether it came from Christianity's influence on Christmas was stealing from pagans or vice versa. Some of that's going to pop up tonight, but first and foremost, our format tonight is I'm going to talk about tradition. I'm going to see what you guys know. So first off, guys,
okay.
December 25th.
Yes.
Is the day of Christmas.
Yes.
Was Jesus born on December 25th?
Not likely.
John says yes.
So I did remember reading something recently that was like, actually, it's possible. So I'm going to say yes.
So here's a nice little nugget that might surprise you. December 25th. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys.
Nugget in your throat, big dog.
Dude,
chill out.
I got sick at ETS, and I think I'm actually got a second bug. It's horrible.
What if it was Wes? He wasn't as clean as you thought.
Wes Huff, did you make me sick?
Get a t-shirt that says Wes Huff gave me the Rona at ETS. That would be a great shirt.
Oh my gosh. It's my Christmas present to myself.
Two people know what it means.
So, what's 9 months after March 25th?
December 25th.
Wow, you're so smart, bud. So, and March 25th is typically when they think that tradition claims that Christ died. And so there's this old sort of like, I don't even know the word, like it's legend's not the right word, but this idea that this reckoning was based on the tradition that Jesus was conceived and died on the same calendar day, and that you would like die 9 months after your conception date. So
died 9 months after, or you died on the same day that you were conceived?
You died 9 months after you were conceived.
Huh.
The date that you were conceived. Yeah. So that's kind of where that's one of the veins. Also, there's another tradition that thinks that March 25th was the creation of the world. So,
wow.
Very specific.
Deep cut.
Now, what has been annoying when researching this episode is almost everything is like the pagans did this and the Christians took it. And as Wes points out in his video, it's just not true. So we were celebrating Christmas very early on. Theodosius actually adds it to the calendar, the like liturgical calendar celebrating the Advent.
So this is what, 5th century? 4th century?
4th century, late 4th century.
Okay.
And so Christians have been celebrating this for a while, and then they take it back to there was this Sol Invictus celebration, which is like the unconquered sun, which was like a pagan festival, and it coincided. But really and truly, if you look all over the world at like every tradition, so many cultures have something similar to this. So. No, I don't think Christianity was pagan. But yes, so Christmas. December 20. Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
From what I understand, early Christians did have a habit of creating their own thing at a parallel, like a parallel thing that was at the exact same time as a pagan festival, because they weren't going to participate in the Caesar cult or, something like Sol Invictus. They definitely wouldn't be participating in. So they would just do their own thing instead. And so I think some of our church calendar traditions come from generating something that Christians could do instead during that time.
That makes sense. It's like I've already got the day off. So
that's right.
But I don't want to celebrate this guy. So yeah, let's do something Jesus flavored.
Right. It's like Japanese having KFC on Christmas,
Sort of. Yeah.
It's not really like that at all, but just roll with me, boys. So, yeah, December 25th is old. It's an old thing. It's been around for a long time. Could have been co-opted from pagans. Could be because that's just where it landed with the, Jesus died about 9 months ago, the whole legend thing with the conception date. But yes, any other thoughts on December 25th before we move on to our next tradition?
I think I just want to highlight the fact that I think one reason why so many people will say, whether it's Easter or Easter and Christmas, they say it has pagan roots. It doesn't mean that Christians took a pagan thing and started doing that thing. It just means they were doing it at the same time, which is a very different thing.
Well, you also have to understand there's no, for academic folks now, there's no worldview that classifies like genuine conversion. So if you are a pagan, and we're going to talk about Christmas trees next, but if you are a pagan and you have your traditions and then you convert, you're regenerated to Christianity and you like your traditions, you're like, hey man, how can I figure out how to make this Christian? It's like how Christians today try to make everything like, how can we make baseball Christian?
Yeah, that's what's so. It's like the idea that something was originally not Christian means that it suddenly has no value when it's made Christian. It's like, brother, that was you. Like, you were once pagan. Like, come on. You were washed in the blood, brother. Come on. Like, what are we talking about?
That's right. Yeah, but you're big on Christ redeeming all things, John.
Oh, big time.
I think we all are, but
why'd you say that like a pejorative?
I meant sorry.
You're one of those redemptive fellows.
No, but John is really big. Like John's missiology is about like you really emphasize the idea of like, let's actually take your culture, introduce Christ to it and see what happens.
Oh, that's a big thing for me. Absolutely.
So like for you, it makes total sense that, this was pagan. It's not anymore.
Yeah.
And now I have a Christmas tree for Jesus in my house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to make all the holidays from pagan to I'm trying to make Father's Day Christian.
Right?
Bro, are you kidding me?
That's right.
Oh my God, the Father Day.
Amen. Hey, so what's your what do you think about Christmas trees? Before I tell you.
Okay. Man, it's got to have like some kind of I don't know. Because it's usually a certain type of tree, and then there's the ornaments and the gift. I honestly have no idea.
Did I talk about the Boniface theory?
You did. You briefly mentioned it. I was going to mention it too, but go ahead. Say it.
Oh, just that kind of one of the fictionalized versions of him knocking down the Donner's Oak is that after that, there's like a conifer, tree in there. And he tells them, hey, you shouldn't be worshiping these false gods out in the woods. Like you should be worshiping the one true God in your home. You should take this tree and like, look how it points to heaven. It's like pointing up, kind of cast your eyes up to the Almighty God sort of thing. I also really quick want to shout out one of our listeners, long time listener who would probably never comment on any of our socials, but very faithful, Cassie Nisley. She listened to the Boniface episode, ready for all sorts of cozy Christmas stuff, and there was none of it.
Oh
and
no, Cassie.
She was really wanting. She actually was like, "I'd love to know about the history of some of these Christmas traditions." So Taylor, you saved the day.
Merry Christmas,
I got
Cassie.
you, Cassie. Yeah. Okay, so the tree is an interesting one. Once again, we don't know for sure. There is evidence to point back to the Roman winter solstice, which, and you got to remember, the Roman Empire lasted forever. So whether it's like Sol Invictus, or there was another festival that they had, Saturnalia, which is honor of Saturnus, which is the god of agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
So like sometimes they would have a holiday tree, or they would hang greens. And so, it's easy for someone to point and go, well, see, Christians stole that. And maybe they did, or that same tradition just sort of evolved in other cultures, because late in the Middle Ages, Germans and Scandinavians actually placed evergreen trees inside their homes, or like right outside the door. And that was just like in the hope of spring coming. So it wasn't even necessary.
Christmas.
No, it wasn't Christmas.
They're just like, you remember when things were green? Look at that tree.
Dude, that's exactly right.
Amazing. That's kind of cool.
That's exactly right. And so Martin Luther, there's a story that like Martin Luther decorated the first Protestant Christmas tree.
Love it.
Based.
Yeah. But so our tradition of Christmas tree, the one I have sitting behind me, and the one that you have in your house, John. Tommy, I didn't ask you because you went to the store to buy Zins. Do you have a Christmas tree in your house?
Not yet. We have been we've been considering getting a real tree for like the first time, and we haven't pulled the trigger. Yeah.
Real? Okay. Sidebar. Brandy wanted us to get a real tree our first Christmas together. I was so excited to do it, and we did it. And then she found out how many spiders come with them, and she was like, never again.
Let's see.
We
We might be
guys
able
just
to
have just have a morning surprise of spiders coming out of the tree.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Oh my
Here,
God.
let's see if we can get Steffi on the pod for the first time ever. She was nodding like I think she wanted a real tree our first year as well, and we've never done it. Let's see if we can get Dane on the pod. Come here, Dane. You need to say something. You say
special
something on
guest
the pod.
Dane.
Oh, this is huge. This is huge.
Say something.
We'll take it.
He's
We'll
just
take
smiling at me with his baby smile.
We got a little
grunt.
baby coo. Yeah, we got a little grunt.
That was
That's
sweet.
right.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Christmas tree tradition comes from probably those Germans.
Okay. Yeah.
So not everything that the Germans have handed down to us has been terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Volkswagen and Christmas trees.
Yeah, and Christian liberalism.
Albert Einstein.
Okay.
IKEA.
You win some, that's not okay. Yes. Now,
Toshiba.
I will say this. I'll get into it a little bit.
Ramen.
One of the things, there's some misinterpretation of a passage in Jeremiah and Isaiah 44, Jeremiah 10, where there's like some reference to trees. Those are not talking about Christmas trees. That was just not even a thing. That wasn't in Isaiah's mind when he talks about idol worshipers cutting down a tree and burning part of it to warm themselves and using the other part to fashion an idol. That's he wasn't.
Wild.
He was not. Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's a massive section of the internet.
Why are people like that's
And some of them are probably listening, so we don't want to be too offensive.
Right.
Like, it is a huge group.
okay? I won't call it wild. I will call it biblically uninformed.
Yeah, have a clean hermeneutic, my
Talk to your
friends. That's all.
pastor, man. Like,
What-
just
what if their
shoot him
pastor-
an email?
What if their pastor's the one that's like told them about it?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to have that conversation.
Yeah. So, yeah. There's no worshiping of the Christmas tree happening. I think it's a very uncharitable interpretation when people are like, yeah, you bow down to the Christmas tree and then receive your presents. And I'm like, Or it's just a cute tree with some nice lights, and then we put gifts because we love each other
I
under
think
them.
there's this interesting, okay, this is probably more real than this needs to be, but I think that some churches kind of, they already have this idea that mainstream Christianity has like fallen off of a pit. And so when something is like overly popular or very like culturally accepted, their immediate response is like, oh, there's something sinister lurking here. And I think that's where Christmas phobia and Halloween phobia and all that stuff comes from. And yeah.
I think it's interesting that we've landed culturally now, like Christian culture. We've landed, it would seem, from the war on Christmas to now we've shifted to Christmas is super pagan. I'm not really hearing about the war on Christmas anymore.
What happened to people? Like, who hurt you?
The internet, bro. Facebook happened.
People have always been crazy.
Yeah.
So now our next tradition is caroling. I'm curious if you guys have even thought about the tradition of caroling. But what do you got? What do you got?
Oh boy. Have you guys ever caroled before? Quick aside.
Yep.
Yes.
I caroled once. It was a good time.
Yep. Actually, we do a cool thing each year with the 4-H club that our kids are in. Where we go to like a nursing home and the kids sing carols to the people in the nursing home.
Oh,
that is
awesome.
legit. That is a really cool activity.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't able to find like the tradition of
like when you say caroling, do you mean like going out and surprising people at their houses with singing? Because I feel like in some senses, caroling is just what humans do. Like we sing songs around holidays, but
well, I was thinking more like Christmas hymns is what I actually have some information on, but I don't have anything. I couldn't necessarily find anything on the tradition of like bundling up with a scarf and a top hat. And
some of if you like open up a hymnal and you look at some of the Christmas hymns, especially like the Advent-y kind of ones, some of those, the text at least, obviously not like the melodies, but some of the text is like ancient. Like,
yes,
early church fathers wrote some of our most popular Christmas hymns, or at least portions of them, which is pretty cool.
Well, yes, I think Christmas carols became popular in the 14th century, though. So, but their evolution does date back further. But here's the other thing. Once again, the pagans, even before Christianity, it's most likely that midwinter songs existed to keep people's spirits up.
You know what else is pagan? Resurrection. What are you going to do about that, huh?
That's funny.
Can't resurrect somebody
like,
without
where does it end? Where does it end?
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like there's just so many traditions that sort of like naturally happen when people are together. And here's another one: getting together and singing songs in the midwinter, maybe in the bleak midwinter. Am I right? That was very funny and witty, but none of you cared. So this getting together and singing the songs to keep up people's spirits. I mean, dude, I was driving to band practice tonight and I picked up one of our singers and it's like 5:00 and it's like pitch black outside. And she's just like, man, I like the cooler weather, but this really is just like a drag. And you got to think like we're like in the bleak midwinter.
It's
right
kind of cool to think that a lot of these Christmas traditions just formed because people were really bummed of how cold it was and how treacherous winter was. No, really. Like they were like,
I miss plants.
Yeah, they're like, let's bring this tree inside. I think we'd all feel better if we did.
Dude, yes.
Gather the children. Let's go sing songs to the neighbor. We know he's sad since his missus passed last spring.
It is kind of a funny tradition. It's like, you know what would really help us forget that it's really cold outside if we brought a tree inside the house.
Yes.
Let's make the inside outside.
So yeah. So the only thing that I found, and we have our next little bit is going to be on St. Francis of Assisi, his influence on Christianity. Christmas. Sorry. Thank you. You just have to correct me every time I misspeak.
Help, bro. No, you're
good. You have to. I'm not upset at all.
I love that Christmas and Christianity just occupy the same space in your mind.
It's probably like a penguin floating around in that space too. I mean, it's yeah, I mean, the Franciscan monks would like get together and like sing these songs, and that could be where it started, like going around the neighborhood. There was one though that is, so my favorite Christmas hymn is Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And do you guys, I'm curious, do you know who wrote it?
Isaac Watts.
Luther.
No, Luther was accredited to writing Away in a Manger, but
oh yes, I saw that this year.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that's true.
He wrote like the 2 verses of it, not the whole thing.
No, he got accredited to it by an anonymous source. But historians
M. Luther.
No, like an anonymous person recorded it and was like, this dates back to Martin Luther, and I don't think it does. So Charles Wesley wrote,
honestly, that should have been my second guess.
Hark
he wrote
the
a ton
Herald
of stuff.
Angels. Yeah. So that's like, you know, I mean, and that's back in like mid 18th century. So that's an old one. We have a pretty old one that we still sing today. Adeste Fidelis. O come, all ye faithful. Adeste Fidelis. Yeah, it works. You can totally sing it in Latin. And that goes back to like mid 17th century and probably even further. So anyway, there's like, you could probably do a whole research project on the history of every Christmas hymn, but that one's that. We got to keep moving. So now I want to talk about Saint Francis.
Okay.
And you guys are like, well, what tradition is he? Guys, Saint Francis. Have you guys ever been to a living nativity?
No.
Saint Francis.
It's like a petting zoo?
Wait, okay. Pause. Have you guys not heard of living nativities?
No, I know.
In my life.
I have.
Not.
Okay, so John, they're pretty big in the evangelical world where like, yeah, it's basically a petting zoo. You have real animals and you like have actors like this is little Jesus next to an actual donkey.
Is there like a storyline?
But it's like Dane. It's like Dane wrapped up in like
so it's just like a baby with his mom and like some animals around and like everyone's so it's like a still. It's not a play, but everyone's just kind of mumbling around.
Well, it's supposed to be like something you like walk through and like you appreciate. Now, this is kind of interesting. Saint Francis did the first one on Christmas Eve in 1223.
Gosh dang it, dude. It's
and like
trailblazing.
And now mega churches are like, come visit our living nativity and have hot cocoa.
Dude, I feel like Saint Francis did it with those, like, he was talking to the donkey, like, all right, brother, you're going to stand right here. And the donkey's like, yes, my lord.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to stream in the online campus tonight, you donkey, so you better not act up.
Dude.
Strap a GoPro to the donkey and walk him around.
Saint Francis's like commitment to poverty, he wanted to show people, like, here's his quote. I want to do something that will recall the memory of that child who was born in Bethlehem, to see with bodily eyes the inconveniences of his infancy, how he lay in the manger, and how the ox and ass stood by.
I love it.
I do too. I think Saint Francis, you know, was he gets a bad rap in Protestant circles. But man,
Chump Nation loves St. Francis, bro. I have no beef with that man whatsoever.
I like him.
What his followers did with his name is no fault of his.
So there's this guy named Saint Bonaventure, which, what a name. Am I right? So Saint Bonaventure actually records. So I have a little thing here. He said, it happened in the 3rd year before his death that in order to excite the inhabitants of Greccio to commemorate, this was in Italy, by the way, to commemorate the nativity of the infant Jesus with great devotion, Saint Francis determined to keep it with all possible solemnity. And lest he should be accused of lightness or novelty, he asked and obtained the permission of the sovereign pontiff. Then he prepared a manger and brought hay and an ox and an ass to place appointed. The brethren were summoned, the people ran together, the forest resounded with their voices, and that venerable night was made glorious by many brilliant lights and sonorous psalms of praise.
I like that.
Yeah, so I mean, Saint Francis was essentially like, I'm gonna prove how God became, God became flesh. Or I'm not prove it. I'm gonna show you how God became flesh and what that looked like, and how this was not a nice little situation he was born into.
I feel like the only downfall of that is it's not likely that you're going to have an actual newborn baby, signed up to do that role. So it'd be like a little disturbing when you look and it's just like a super huge baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, getting a newborn to like sit still out in the cold is.
I bet Jesus was a strong baby though, He's strong.
You sound like that scene in Talladega Nights.
Baby Jesus.
Yeah, I like to imagine Jesus as a samurai fighting the evil ninja.
Oh, man. All right, what's next, Taylor? What do we got?
Well, just kind of a general discussion on Christmas decorations, because here's the open for this. I asked my Filipino friend who, I think I talked about last episodes. Filipinos are kind of like on board with Western traditions, right? Mm-hmm. So they love Christmas, and they have Christmas trees and they have a couple other things that they do, but they don't decorate outside the house. Okay. And the outside the house decorations has become like a neighborhood competition in America.
Yes.
And you like people like sync it up to lights now. And I think with like the way tech just keeps advancing, it just gets bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, did you guys that own homes, did you put up lights outside?
Mm-hmm.
I did
nice, not. Tommy.
Yep.
No, we're gonna keep it indoors this year. We're on a budget. I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to play this American game with everybody.
You mean Annie didn't want to get up on a ladder to do it, but
I was like, well, that's not gonna get done then.
I guess it's not happening. Oh well.
The tree's enough. The tree's enough. I'm barely going to be able to afford presents this year. Houses are expensive.
I hung up lights when we lived in a house.
What's it? They're not called candelabras. What is it? The lights and the paper bags. What do you call that? What is that called? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like a Southwestern thing.
Bags?
Yeah. You put like candles inside like brown paper bags, and you'll see houses covered in them. You've never seen this?
I'm probably
pretty sure it's a Mexican.
I'm imagining the wrong thing because I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna check it out. What did you guys
looked that up,
Taylor?
Oh, I just hung lights up. I just had some hooks and just got
Luminaria. That's what it's called.
Okay. Yep. I definitely see it now. I've not. That would actually be pretty cool. I think we could do that.
So this is more of like a modern tradition that I think we're talking about, because this ties back into the Christmas tree, right? So like the Christmas tree comes to America, it gets more popular, and then like the Rockefeller tree in New York gets lit up super bright, and now you have more city centers around the world setting up big Christmas trees with lots of lights. Mm-hmm. And I mean, people like lights, and it's dark. It's like a dark time of year. So the lights evolving rapidly with like the advent of LEDs alongside the ability to control them hyper specifically. It's kind of an interesting little thing. So like the thing that I brought up here is as Americans spend more than $6 billion annually on Christmas decorations.
What? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. More than 80 million homes decorate, and over 150 million strands of lights are sold each year.
Dang.
Yeah, bro, people love their lights.
Mm-hmm.
So, what started as the German immigrants bringing us their Christmas tree tradition is just like blown up to this. I don't know. I don't want to be like the guys that was all commercialized.
I mean, okay. Let me counter that, even though I know you're not making that argument. So I lived in Israel for 6 months. I've mentioned this real briefly on the show before. And Israel, if you can imagine it, does not celebrate Christmas.
You don't say.
But dude, there was something I still remember. I remember so vividly the experience of walking around in a town outside on Christmas Day, and it just looked like nothing. Like nothing was happening. And it actually like kind of broke me a little bit. I was like, I hate this. Like, so I get the commercial
You're
stuff.
like already missing your family, and then like there's nothing to see.
Dude, it's soul crushing, man. Like, I'm just like, this sucks. I literally went in and I borrowed someone's phone so I could call my family. So there is something I really do love driving around town and seeing the lights and the decorations. It feels like a cultural event, which I love.
It does. And Tucson has Winter Haven.
Yeah,
absolutely, it does.
Which is a specific neighborhood for the listeners that like you literally have to put up decorations or the HOA like kills you or something.
They'll burn your house.
Winter Haven was a thing before. I feel like more neighborhoods around America do this sort of thing now, but it's not quite as like cozy as Winter Haven. It's like, like the electric light show kind of stuff. And Winter Haven has been Christmas light maxing for like 40 years or something.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And it's like a whole thing. And so the Tucson Electric Power actually like sponsors it and does free energy for Winter Haven during the time that the lights are supposed to be on.
That's awesome.
There's hot cocoa vendors, tons of people set up and do, they'll like sit outside and like sing Christmas carols of their house around their decorations.
Yeah.
It's a community event.
It's wholesome. It's super wholesome.
It's wholesome.
You just walk around with your family, bring your kids. It's just sweet and festive.
And I think we're starting to get to the root of like what tradition really is. And I don't mean church tradition. I mean,
are we getting to the reason for the season here, Taylor?
No. Oh, I'm talking about human tradition, what it does for us.
Oh, okay.
Because you said you were like, when you were in Israel and it was Christmas Day and you're like, this feels horrible. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you this, when I was in Boston, they had already put up a lot of Christmas decorations.
Christmas either?
No, they do. And I got to say, East Coast felt very Christmassy.
Yeah.
I think it's because it was colder and you've got the big buildings that all got their lights and you got the big trees and the wreaths hanging everywhere. And you're like,
it's
this
denser
like,
too. Everything's close together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you go like, you come back to like Tucson or like the Inland Empire or Wisconsin or wherever all of our other listeners. And it's like, I've got In-N-Out Burger and like one Christmas billboard.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel as
doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't feel as Christmassy. Yeah. So there's like a feeling to Christmas, right?
Christmas spirit, man. Yeah.
And so to put a bow on the Christmas decorations, I think there's like a modern tradition that we're really seeing evolving, but I really like your charitable take. That I think it's easy to look at it and say, oh, it's just like wealthy people showing off. But I don't even know if they're showing off. I think there's like a house down the road from us that they put out some serious lights. And when I say serious lights, I mean like every inch of their outside is covered in LEDs.
Well, and dude, you know what? Like, despite the fact that the religious ecosystem in America has shifted and gone back and forth in so many different ways in the past like few decades, Christmas spirit is somehow surprisingly unaffected by all that stuff. Which maybe that's the reason for this.
While we're on traditions, specifically when it comes to like church traditions, things like Christmas, probably one of the best arguments I've heard for developing traditions and even being okay with like new traditions coming about is the fact that Jesus in the Gospels, we have it's not spelled out for us, but if you pay attention to the dates, Jesus celebrates both Purim and Hanukkah, which are two festivals that are not instituted by God. They're not ones that God was like, hey, you need to do this. So it's like celebrating basically the liberation that we see in the book of Esther, and then the Feast of Dedication, which is the second temple being dedicated. And Jesus like participates in those because he's an Israelite, and there's like cultural festivals that they had. Essentially what those festivals are is commemorating God's mighty acts, which is what all of the other Israelite festivals were. And so you'll run into probably one of the biggest evangelical oppositions you'll hear for observing really anything from the church calendar is, well, God didn't tell us to do that. It's like, well, he didn't have to, because he did these mighty acts. In the church calendar, really all it is just rehearsing the life of Jesus year after year. And we can celebrate those things, and God blesses that because he actually wants us to use creativity and find fun ways, create new cultural traditions that celebrate these things. So I'm all for innovation when it comes to this, especially when we are focused around the fact of like what we're celebrating, which is the incarnation of God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think there's something to be said about the house in the neighborhood, that I don't think there's anything Christian-y about what he's doing, but he's putting up a lot of lights to celebrate Christmas. And what are we ultimately celebrating during the season?
Yeah.
So it's like a common grace thing. So I say, put up as many decorations outside and bless your neighbors. I love it. Every time Brandy and I drive past that house, we're like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a little common grace. All right. The next one is, up from the rooftop, reindeer paws. Here comes jolly old Santa Claus.
All right. This one I'm interested in.
Well,
Father
what do you
Christmas,
know?
as they call him.
Well, no. Well, okay. So you're already getting into it because that's separate, actually.
I like a little Father Christmas.
Yeah. So Father Christmas.
Is that like an Odin thing?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody claims it. I'm telling you, man, everything I looked at was like,
everything is Odin.
Everything is pagan. I mean, there was this pagan guy that had a beard, and that was Christmas. So yeah, like bah humbug. What do you guys know though? Before I tell you, what do we know about Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you're going back to the patristics.
He liked to give children, like orphan children, gifts, I think, right? Like
he
that was
did,
one of his
and
good works.
Yep, and he slapped Arius at the Council of Nicaea.
I was gonna say he had a gift for heretics too.
For hands.
A little cross.
And you, little Arius, is going to catch these hands. Yeah. So kind of dates back, Father Christmas, this figure, at least what we know, dates back to like 15th century. There's a carol where there's somebody called Sir Christmas, and he shares the news of Christ's birth, and then he tells his audience to make good cheer and be right merry.
That sounds like a Dwight Schrute's version of the Sir Christmas.
Yeah. With the oh gosh, what did he call his little character?
Yeah, I forget.
The little guy with the bell.
Oh gosh, man. 2018 John Simon would be so disappointed that I didn't know this off the top of my head.
I know, getting old. There's also another in 1572. There was this record. There was a procession that was banned after complaints of very rude and barbarous behavior. And this was a Father Christmas procession where they would have the Yule ridings on December 21st. And a man disguised as Yule, he carried cakes and meats through the streets and threw nuts into the crowd.
That's hysterical. Dude, that guy's not a giver of good cheer.
And the mayor or whoever is like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. So, elsewhere in like Tudor, Stuart times, there'd be like the lords of misrule. They oversaw Christmas, and they were given names. This is from my article. Given names like Captain Christmas,
yes,
the Christmas Lord, or Prince Christmas.
Dude, Christmas Avengers would go so hard, bro.
Yeah,
I love that.
But none of those are actually like, that's not like Father Christmas. That's just the idea of Christmas personified. But so there's a playwright named Ben Jonson, and he wrote a play called Christmas, His Mask, and it was performed by the royal court in 1616. And the character of Christmas appears in old-fashioned clothes with a long beard, and he calls himself Old Christmas or Old Gregory Christmas in this play. Now, obviously, that didn't stick.
So I'm interested in this because like my favorite Father Christmas story is in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and C.S. Lewis liked to incorporate like really old myths and kind of like medieval stuff into his writing. And so I've always wondered about that. Like, what did C.S. Lewis know about Father Christmas that made him put it in his story?
That's a really good question. C.S. Lewis was a historian, right? Mm. So he would have known a lot.
I mean, for him, a lot of it just came from his reading of literature.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I will tell you this, in Johnson's play, the guards don't let him in the party, and so, old Gregory Christmas, he tells the guards that he's as good a Protestant as any in my parish. And I guess right now, at this time, is like the Puritans don't like Christmas celebrations.
Oh, yeah, we talked
I'm
about
literally
this
on a rabbit hole reading this right now, that the Puritans are like, it's too popish.
Yeah, so the Pure, of course they did, right?
Well, we talked about this on the episode we did with Our Church Speaks. After they killed the king, they were like, and also Christmas is canceled.
That's how you know the Puritans were not on the right side of history.
Oh man,
dude, I'm gonna read you guys an excerpt from my article here. This is from EnglishHeritage.org.uk. The Puritan attack on Christmas intensified before, during, and after the English Civil War. Royalists flocked to Christmas's defense and once again personified the season to make their case, as in the 1645 pamphlet, The Arrangement, Conviction, and Imprisonment of Christmas. That is like such an intense line for like defending Christmas. In this allegorical story, a woman asks the Oxford town crier where old Father Christmas is gone, and she's told that the poor old man was arraigned, condemned, and after conviction cast into prison amongst the king's soldiers, feared to be hanged. So like that's what the Puritans were doing, essentially.
That's so dramatic, though.
It is.
Like, I love that they were just like, let's try to make a story about this.
You talk about the war on Christmas. This was like an actual war. And so in 1647, Parliament banned Christmas.
Yeah.
No more Christmas.
Puritans are punks, dude. I swear, they are the party poopiest of all denominations.
Yeah. It's so funny to me. They banned Christmas. Get out of here. All right, we'll skip forward so we can hit our other few traditions. So there's this idea of Sinterklaas, which is such a sick name. that was
Santa Claus.
Wasn't that the name the Dwight Schrute had? Wasn't it something like that?
No, it wasn't.
Santa Claus.
So Santa Claus is actually long before Father Christmas. And Santa Claus dates back to Saint Nicholas, who you were talking about, guys.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Saint Nicholas had his miracles. I didn't know about this.
Belsnickel. That was it.
That was
That's
it.
right.
Belsnickel.
That is right. Yep.
Bro, do you remember the D&D campaign, John, where we had our Christmas D&D and I had Belsnickel as a character?
Was that a one-off where we had to make different characters for it?
No. Okay, so for the audience, we've talked about our D&D years. It was years. So every year they could be in the middle of like a battle between goblins and orcs and trying to like diplomatically figure out what to do. It didn't matter. When December hit, Father Christmas would teleport out of nowhere and he would take their party away to help him with something.
Heroes, I need your help.
Yeah, it was definitely like it didn't make for great narrative, but it was hilarious.
Love a good filler episode.
It was in December was that. So anyway, some of the Nicholas miracles, this one's crazy. I hadn't known this. So he resurrected 3 youths after they'd been murdered and pickled in a barrel.
Gosh, good gracious.
Yeah, good gracious. So here's another one.
Kids.
So he met a poor man who was on the brink of selling his daughters into slavery. And under cover of darkness, the saint anonymously threw 3 bags of gold down the chimney to provide dowries for the girls. And the gold landed. Where did the gold land, Tommy?
In the fire?
No, in their stockings.
Oh, in their stockings.
That were drying by the fire.
Yeah,
that's like
a
they were down on the
perfect shot.
He's magic Saint Nicholas. Okay, so he actually kind of had a renaissance of popularity in the 11th century because some of his relics were, quote, rescued from Mira, i.e.
some poor old skeleton was dug up and they're like, guys, look.
No, what it was probably some Orthodox people were like, we just love our relics of Saint Nicholas. And then like some crusaders like, here I am. And just, this belongs to me now. And took it. Except they were Italian and went back to Italy. So it was more like, hey, give me the relics. Oh my gosh. So anyway,
hit him with the old gabagool,
yeah, that's right. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. So anyway, so that's sort of how Saint Nicholas comes over to Europe from Mira, and we got something in the Netherlands. Special markets setting up to sell toys and treats. And this is all for St. Nicholas Day, which was December 6th, not quite 25th. But you can see kind of how the merger of the holidays starts happening, right?
Yeah.
But then once again, poor Santa Claus becomes under attack by guess who?
It's the Puritans again.
The Puritans!
Gosh dang.
Oh, yes. But I guess something like the Puritans were like okay with trying to figure out some way to make this tradition work. So baby Jesus was made the giver of gifts.
Okay, all right.
And and it was in Germany. He was known as Das Christkindl.
Yes.
Which gets okay, but then so you have Das Christkindl that gets Anglicanized or Anglicized. How do you say? Yeah, Anglicized, made into English, right? As Kris Kringle.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Dude,
yes.
The lore is so deep.
Dude, it's nuts. And it's nuts. So St. Nicholas markets were banned because, of course, they were. And as were biscuits baked in the shape of the bishop.
Wow.
Like what? Who's enforcing that? How do you have time to enforce that law? So
Kris Kringle was actually baby
Das
Jesus.
Christkindl.
Just
yes.
retconned over Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Dude,
now,
what a crazy thing.
It's not the article says this. It's not entirely clear how Santa Claus made his way across the Atlantic to North America to become Santa Claus. They say it might have came over in like a Dutch colony or something, but
does the origin of like kind of what we think of, like when you think Santa Claus, an image came into your mind, is that because of Coca-Cola?
No, very, very good question. But there's an anonymous illustrated poem called Old Santa Claus with Much Delight, and that introduces a red coat, reindeer, sleigh, and put his arrival on Christmas Eve.
Dang.
Rather than St. Nicholas Day.
Man.
Mm-hmm. So then get this. So you have this anonymous guy who probably, it would be nuts if he was just like, I don't know, maybe he found some mushrooms in the woods and was like, here, this guy was riding reindeer, man. But so this illustrated anonymously, he comes in, and then Dr. Clement Clark Moore, who's a professor of Hebrew, he writes a poem called A Visit from St. Nicholas, which is better known to us as The Night Before Christmas.
Son of a gun, dude.
And he found out he had the illustrated poem, and then he takes it and makes it his own. So Saint Nick gets the beard and his magical flying animals from this anonymous drawing.
Have you heard the theories of who composed this anonymous drawing?
No, you found
Mr. M. Luther.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry.
I know you like to follow along on your own sources, so I didn't. That's so funny.
No, I have no idea.
M.L.
That's right.
Like a J.K. Rowling mystery. So anyway, so that's kind of, we'll jump ahead here. So the merger of all of these kind of eventually leads to St. Nicholas, and then Coke co-ops him. Victorian England, which we talked about in the Charles Spurgeon episode, Victorian England, she was pretty big on creating this Christmas tradition. So she marries a German and brings over some of that stuff, and they like go hard on modernizing Christmas. And so this feel of Christmas that we talked about earlier, like you're in Israel and you just feel empty. When I walk outside in Boston and I'm like, wow, this feels like Christmas. That kind of actually comes from the Victorian England's influence on the holiday. And they shifted gift giving from New Year's. It used to be on New Year's. They shifted it to Christmas.
One thing that I found out about this year that like every year the royal in England will do like a Christmas address. They have like a royal Christmas address. Did she start that? Do you know?
I didn't read that specifically that I recall, but I would almost say yes with how much they started. So we are out of time, but as I said, the next tradition would be the gift giving. That came from Queen Victoria. The stockings came from the miracle of Saint Nicholas. But even then, the Victorian influence on Christmas is just nuts. So the greeting card tradition comes from them. So back in the 1870s, greeting cards were being mass produced. So, and that was also when in England they started wrapping presents in colorful paper. So there is a lot of things that we do that they started and they just pushed, and people just loved it though. I mean, that's, people just loved it.
Yeah.
So
I'll be honest, I was skeptical at first because I was like, yeah, Christmas traditions, yada, yada. But every little tradition has this tiny little nugget of history behind it, and it's all connected to Puritans being the worst.
Yes, dude. Banning Christmas.
That is the reason for the season.
That's your takeaway? Okay.
No, that was good.
You know, Puritans give and they take. They give you great theology and they take away Christmas.
Yeah, they take away Christmas. They take away the head of the king.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your episode, Miss Cassie. Christmas traditions.
Yeah. Well, we know we're a couple days early for Christmas, but we hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. Good job, Tay.
Thanks, dog.
Yeah. Alrighty, gang. Well, we hope that you and your families and loved ones and communities have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And we'll see you guys in the new year. Wait, no. We'll have another episode before then. But
we will.
We'll see you around. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.